Speaker, those who purport to speak for government on the floor of this House must tell the country, where did the subsidy money go? Why is it now resurfacing in a supplementary budget? This is money that ought to have been there. Why were oil dealers not paid the subsidy that was already there and budgeted for? Now we are coming to a supplementary to generate money to pay the oil companies. A further question, Madam Speaker. In a crisis of this nature, why hasn't His Excellency the President come up to address the nation and calm passions and anxiety? Why has he kept silent? We are seeing statements being released from junior officers in government. A crisis of this nature requires the President to come and address the nation and tell us where his government took the money, why they didn't pay the oil companies, and why he has plunged the country into a crisis. Because we're in a crisis, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, I passed through Kisumu to Bungoma. At the Luanda market, which you know, Madam Speaker, there were near riots in a small petrol station. I could see over 1,000 border riders struggling to get fuel. We went through Mumias, same thing. Bungoma, same thing. This morning as I was coming at 6 a.m., every petrol station was jammed with anxious border riders, matatu riders, long queues. This is not the Kenya we want to have. This is not the Kenya we should have. And a government that can reduce the country to this level of irresponsible leadership must be called to order, must be called to account. And I want to hear from my distinguished colleagues who are jumping up to defend an indefensible government, to tell this country, where did the money go? Why are we in a... May I beg for some more?
Yes, let's...
5 minutes, Madam Speaker. 5.
I think we are good enough. We can do 5 minutes.
5. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Why are we in a crisis? And, Madam Speaker, the most dangerous thing is not to have lack of fuel, but eventually to have lack of food if farmers cannot be enabled to produce food. You can imagine what hungry and angry Kenyans can turn to. And we want Kenyans to be told, including me, and we can understand. If there is a problem, we live in this country. We defend this country. We protect this country. But nobody is going to protect a government that is acting in such an irresponsible manner that even when people are going to near riots, everybody is dipping their heads in sand like ostriches. And people are suffering. Madam Speaker, I've asked questions on this floor before. DR Congo, Burundi, Rwanda, Uganda, they import fuel through Kenya. From Mombasa, the cost of transportation, the cost of all the hazards of getting the product to their country. Today, Madam Speaker, you go to Goma in Congo, fuel is cheaper than in Kenya. And you want to say this is a government that cares for this country? It doesn't, Madam Speaker. And we are now told something incredibly false, that the war in Ukraine is affecting Kenya's economy. How? Kenya gets its fuel from UAE. Kenya gets oil from Saudi Arabia. Kenya gets oil at times from Qatar. We have no record of importing fuel from Ukraine, and Ukraine is not even a major fuel producer and exporter. So don't tell us that we have the effects of the Ukraine-Russian war, and that's why we have these fuel problems. How can a country like South Sudan not have the same problems? Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and here in Kenya, it is just because of greed, Madam Speaker. And I want to repeat that it is now the duty of those who speak for government, like my distinguished colleague from Isiolo, to tell us. In law, Madam Speaker, and you are a lawyer, we say, res ipsa loquitur, where things speak for themselves. Where did the money go? If the money is not there, the irresistible conclusion is that either it has been misapplied, misappropriated, or stolen. And that is the history of this country. Like I said, the president himself is on record. We lose 2 billion Kenya shillings daily to theft. I don't know who can stand up and defend that in this house, or even dispute that. And my colleagues on the other side of the floor know these things only too well. I would want to see my brother Ochila Ayako, my very distinguished close friend, go to Migori and tell the people of Migori, who he wants to elect him as a governor, that these fuel shortages are all right in a country like Kenya, that the queues in petrol stations are all right because it is normal. I wish you well, my brother. I want you to be elected a governor. And I'll tell those who I know in your account to elect you, but maintain your sobriety. And when we see something wrong, we must be able to tell the king that he's naked instead of praising his suit when he has no suit. This is a naked government, and this government, if anything, we should pray quickly that 9th August is brought forward so that we can vote them to go home and we show them how to run the country. Because we, as Kenya Kwanza, are coming to save this country from this morass, from this irresponsibility, from this greed, from this theft, and from this uncaring behavior that doesn't know that Kenyans are suffering. Madam Fatuma, you can tell this house, how many patients are dying in ambulances because there's no fuel? Do we want to defend that? How many Kenyans? My time is up, I'm told. Madam Speaker, if this was a caring and democratic government, President Uhuru and his government should tender their resignation and leave leadership to those who can lead the country. That is where we are. Thank you, Madam Speaker.